Good night, everyone. Good night, good night, good night. Well, I'm not interested in life, it looks like. But I'm on. So I'll just sit here and go and chill until somebody come on. Good night. Looks like we have one person on. It's good. 2. It's great. Good night, everyone. Can you share the live, please? Share the live to the PNP Delegates, then, please. Good night, Maureen. How are you, my darling? Good night, Paula. Good to have you tuning in from New York, I think. Share the live if you know any delegate that you want to share it with. Please share it with them. Still delegate. Night, Paula. Yes, you're watching from Brooklyn. Yeah, it's be a hot and miserable place, you know, with a whooper rat. Share the live, please. If you know any PNP delegate, just share it to them. And then come in, come watch. Yeah. Good night. Good night, comrades. Good night. Share the live, please. It's very cool in Jamaica indeed, Princess. It's hot and miserable over in Brooklyn. So rat, I would imagine. The rats are running around in Brooklyn like them last them shadow. Hi, Maureen, Central St. James. Big up St. James, Amina. Hey, Paul. Trust everyone is well, everyone is rested. Good night, lady sunny days. Lady, I like that. Lady indeed. I like that. Want to share to some PNP delegates and come back now, please. Sonny Moya looking for say good night, Marie. Moya Sonny is looking for say Nikisha, Birchell, and Peter gave Ferguson for me. Moya go hunt them down for me and tell them come in for the life. The concubine and the booty them up at OLO. We go look for them and tag them for me and bring them on. Let them come for the life. I can't laugh Mary. If I laugh, I'm going to cough. Yo, Angela. How you doing, darling? Good night, comrades. My throat is a little groggy because the rain wet me on Sunday, and at my age, rain wetting is not as fun as it used to be. To get wet up in the rain and walk around in the rain. Jeannie Green, good night. Angela Powell, good night. Hi Toshiba, how was the birthday? I trust it was a blast. Did you do everything that I would do? Sunny days, go look for Peter Gay Ferguson and the Keisha Birchell. Why is this thing not locking off? Oh. Nice to see you, Judy. Nice to see you. Barbara Crooks, good night, my darling. Good night. Just waiting 2 more minutes and then we can start. again. Alright. It's rainy in Kingston. It has been a rainy time in Kingston. A weekend. I got wet by the rain on Saturday. At my age, I can't afford to wet in the rain again. It just make you sick. But share the live now to any delegate you know. If you know one or two PNP delegates, share the live with them. Bring them on. Let them come watch. And listen to what we have to say. So, share and come on. And let us get going. Alright. We have a lot of things to talk about tonight. Well, a few things to talk about that might sound like a lot. But we have a few things to talk about tonight. Stephanie, my darling, how is my goddaughter doing? Hope you're not overfeeding her because she's born overweight already. So I hope you're not overfeeding her those humongous breast milk thing. I don't know. I'm trying to lock this thing off like it half. Lorna Laws from Florida. How are you, Lorna? Thank you for joining us. All right, then. I think we can safely start now. I think. Don't need that anymore. Come and share the live to all the PNP delegates. I want to know, don't want to miss a minute of this. So share it. Alright, and let's get started. Alright. Comrades, we have a number of things to talk about tonight. I want to talk about the divisional conferences across the country. I want to particularly highlight a couple of them in Region 3. We want to talk about Cde Paulwell live with Mark Golin 2 Fridays ago. We want to talk about our road trip to Trelawny and St. Mary. What we discover about that. And there are a few little issues about Region 3 that I want to bring up. I don't know how I'm going to take it, but what I'll do once I start one, I will just segue into the other because they're all very connected in all the things that I have to say about that. Comments, my mother's name was Audrey Naomi Ivan Grant. Everybody in Jerusalem know her as Miss Audrey. Jerusalem, Marvel, UN, everybody know my mother as Miss Audrey. My mother died in 1994 from cervical cancer. When I was just a kid growing up, my mother was working politics for David Core. She worked politics for Carl Thompson, and in Carl Thompson days it was kind of it was rough because those are the heights of the political violence time during Carl Rushland Thompson was our member of parliament. So my mother worked for David Core, Carl Thompson, A.J. Nicholson, Minna Wilmot, David Walker. And my mother, when she started working for the PNP, where I live now in Jerusalem is a sites and service development. It was one of the first that Tony Spalding started. And when them used to grind stone up by the public works, where them crush up stone and for what I don't know. But it was a stone thing up there, so that big machine growing up stone. And Tony Spalding came into Jerusalem one day and pushed open the zinc gate that we had and said, I'm looking for Miss Audrey. My mother says, me name's Hassan. My mother was so flustered that a Tony Spalding come into our yard. She was flustered, she was giddy to see Tony Spalding. And Tony Spalding, my mother sat down and talked. And I was sitting there just listening. I don't remember most of the thing, but he wanted my mother to be the leader in Jerusalem here in the distribution of the land space that everybody capture. And we capture land. Tony Spalding wanted to formalize it and start a sites and service development where people can actually own the piece of land eventually that they have. And so he asked her to take that on. And she did. She got a job at the ministry now. And that is the Sites and Service Development thing. When I used to observe my mother in PNP circles, my mother used to be on the executive. She was a cluster manager, everything. She was everything and everybody that came up through the ranks. And she formed this group near New Signal. And she was a chairman. It was her group, New Signal Group. That group passed on to me when she died. And I ran New Signal Group with the same amount of whole heap of people. After that, I passed the group on New Signal to my mother's granddaughter, her first granddaughter, my niece, Francine Smith. And Francine is still the current chairman of my mother's original group, New Signal Group. When my mother died, we started a new group in her memory. It's called Audrey Grant Memorial. And I want to take note of these comments, please. I promise you there's a point here, and that won't take long. So my mother formed New Signal Group. I took it over, then I forwarded it to Francine and formed my own group named New Malines Development. I formed New Malines Development after we lost the constituency to Andrew Holness when Maxine Henry Wilson was General Secretary. And she said to me, I must not only form a group, but I must form that group and make it into a community organization that can also operate as a community vehicle. So New Malines is both a community organization, a business-like thing, and a PNP group. We name a group also, form a group also, and name it after Tony Spalding, a group by the name of Spalding Steppers. And my nephew, my little son, little fellow that I raised from he was 2 days old, Matthew, he's the chairman of Spalding Steppers. So I want you to keep track. New Signal Group, which my mother started. Audrey Grant Memorial, which we named after her in her memory. Spalding Steppers, which we named off of Tony Spalding. And I want to tell you about one more group. There was this guy in the community by the name of Jacko Lyons. We call him Jacko Lyons. His name was Barrington Lyons. We call him Jacko. And Jacko was like the community PNP big dog. Once him start drinking, he just go to the road and start cuss labor right. With him rum in him pocket, him cup in him hand, and he just bust up liberty on labor right, left, right, and center. Them have to run and hide when them see Jacko and him drunk. But then again, Jacko always drunk. Jacko have always been drunk. So Jacko always drinking and cussing labor right. So then now, let me just get this close. Too much noise coming in. Sorry, comrades. It's summer, so every night there's a party now. So we named a group of a Jacko when he died. Now, Jacko was the kind of guy who have on a PNP shirt every day when he might drink. Every day, Jacko a drink. And Jacko bust up liberty and labor right. When the labor right them get bright out the road, we just make sure Jacko is fully imbibed with him floss in his back pocket and him go and him bust up pay liberty pa labor right. So all of that now, I'm telling you, New Signal Group, my mother's group that she formed. Audrey Grant Memorial, the one we name after her, in memory of her. Spalding Steppers, in honor of Tony Spalding. And Jacko Lyons Memorial. Although I can't get over Jacko's death because Jacko was the guy for me who... Jacko, I used to the labor them get out the road like them have meeting. I want you go out there. You give me buckler, him buckle and him cup and him go out there and the whole of labor them run an eye because Jacko not stop bust up liberty and them. And Jacko not have ordinary words in his mouth. We don't know where Jacko get those words from that him have. It's a big thing in the community. Sometimes we use Jacko words when we are run joke and cuss people. Because Jacko create these words and cuss people. So we love Jacko. We were saddened in the community when Jacko died. Although I personally can't get over Jacko's death. That's how much Jacko meant to us as a community. When Peter Bunting and Angela Brownberg decided to expel me from the PNP, it was right before the regional conferences. And they never want me there, so they have to do it quickly. So at the regional conferences, you know, they expelled me right before, the week before the regional conference. Thinking that the Monday the regional conferences was going to be on the Sunday. That's right when they expelled me. By expelling me, it means now that I don't have a vote at the regional conference at the REC because I'm not a member. So my name would be stricken from the list, which they did. They deleted my name from the list of the groups from the constituency of West Central St. Andrew. And each of those groups are mine. All of those are my group with some others. But I named those because those groups are special. The group that my mother formed when she started in PNP working for David Core. The group that we named after her in memory of her. The group that we named after Tony Spalding in appreciation to Tony Spalding for our free land that we got. And the group that we named after the great Jack Alliance. When I checked the list that Patrick Roberts sent me, Dayton Campbell didn't only take off my name, which is his right. I was expelled. They removed my name. Fine. But there were 2 delegates from my group, and they removed that one as well. So they removed the delegates from my group. My name, who's a delegate, and my secretary, the treasurer's name, who is a delegate. Can't call her name. She works in private sector. So in punishment for me, they removed the next delegate. Then Dayton Campbell removed the delegates from my mother group and my mother farm, New Signal. Then he removed the delegates from the group that we named after my mother, Audrey Grant Memorial. Then he removed the delegates from Jack Alliance group. And I can't begin to tell you, comrades, how heartbreaking it was to look at a guy like Dayton Campbell who have not given the service to the PNP that my mother, Audrey Naomi Ivan Grant, gave to the People's National Party, and him had the audacity to remove the delegate names from my mother group. On the Saturday before the regional conference, I was on the phone with the regional chairman, Comrade Dennis Garden, about the removal of the names. And Dennis was very active, trying to ascertain why the other names were removed, except for my name. My name should remove and it has been removed. But why the others were removed? Because they're removed because they recognize that these groups are mine. So them just willy-nilly, the new general secretary of the PNP can just willy-nilly remove delegates who were properly selected to represent the party at the REC. Properly selected at the AGM meeting the March before. Fenton Ferguson came on the phone one at a time, and he and I didn't know nothing. But one of the most hurtful thing about that day, that Saturday, was Patrick Roberts, the council for Mullines Gardens. Mullines Gardens that my mother made it so him could come in here, come and be councillor. And him couldn't defend my mother group. My mother dead and gone, our group there, our grandparents, them and lead the group. And Dayton Campbell take it off, and nobody could defend that. Nobody in the, not Patrick Roberts, who's a councillor, and nobody in the region. Dennis was trying, I should tell you. Dennis was really trying, because Dennis was calling me back and asking me for information and seeking out things and all the rest of it. He moved my group, he moved my delegates, he moved my delegates from my mother group, the delegates from the group that we named in her honor, and the delegates from Jacko group. Not in a million years will Dayton Campbell ever can stand up and say he gave the kind of service that my mother and Jack Alliance and Tony Spalding gave to the People's National Party. And I thought I'd bring it up today. Why I thought I'd bring it up today? I lie down here today, and something came to my mind about what my mother said when I was wondering how I'm going to handle all of this tonight. And something came to my mind, what my mother would always tell me. She always tell all of us, but particularly I had with high hopes for me politically, so she particularly tell me all of these things. My mother, and it's not me she was telling per se, but she talking amongst all of us. And she said, politics is always, no matter how long you're in it, it's a short-lived event. You do what you can, you do as much as you can, but never expect anything in return. That's what Audrey Naomi Ivan Grant said. Sonia Gonzalez, if you're on, because you knew my mother. Dayton Campbell, Peter Bunting, Mark Golding, Angela Brownberg, all of them together have not contributed the work that my mother did. And this man had the audacity, because I don't know the history of anything, to take my mother's group and the group that we name in our memory off the delegate list. Because he know nothing about PNP, and there was not a single soul in the PNP to defend that. Nobody. I don't believe I could have called Sonia Gonzalez, who knew my mother and know the group, the history of the group. She knows the history of the group. I don't believe I could have called. I don't believe there was anything she could do. But the fact that they can do this, the fact that he could have done that and face no consequences for it, made me today rejoice that I am now just an ordinary supporter of the People's National Party. Ordinary supporter of the People's National Party. Because Dayton can protect my mother's group, my mother who gave more to PNP. But him don't know these things as a general secretary. Him don't know, so him couldn't do any better because him don't know this history. And I can tell you now, it never hurt me that them take off my name. But you have no idea how it hurt me that my niece them didn't get to vote, because both New Signal and Audrey Grant Memorial are led and mostly membership of my mother's grandchildren and great-grandchildren. These are the children who are in these two groups. And Dayton Campbell, mark them down, Dayton Campbell, New Signal and Audrey Grant Memorial, Spalding Steppers, Jacko Lyons sacrificed more. How much time labor right fling water on Jacko, fling stone off for him sometime when the whole of not around and him down the road, him out there cause somebody will all push him. You know how much physical abuse Jacko took for PNP while you don't have sent and a drive around the Frowsy car with 13-year-old girl with Kentucky. Jacko defend PNP up here and you strike off Jacko delegate votes. Every time I think about the fact that Patrick Roberts never defend those groups, I wonder to myself if I'm going to vote for him. Because those are basic things. I wasn't asking him to defend me. Go defend my mother group. Go defend Audrey Grant group. She's the founder of Jewsland. Everybody that live here now upon a piece of land that she split up and give to them. And make sure everybody run water. And Tony Spalding tell her, say, make sure as them build a kitchen, them build a toilet. Every morning she get up out her yard with book and pen and walk around the Jewsland to make sure say everybody will build a digger pit as well. Because she don't everybody build no house with house and kitchen and a build bathroom. So she was, sometimes when I see her till way back in the evening, when she walk from one end of Jewsland to the next to ensure that. And you take off my mother group off a list. And I bring up that also, let me just, yeah. I brought that up because it's conference time. It's conference time. And when Patrick Roberts sent a notice to me that we should do AGMs, I send them back to him. And tell him to find the chairman them for the rest of the group them and make them go keep the AGM and do whatever. But I'm not doing nothing. I'm not encouraging them to do anything either. Because Dayton Campbell took off my mother's group off the list. And the group that was named in her memory. And Jacko group, take them off of the list. Because Uno, the PNP delegates about the NEC, elect him to be General Secretary. So this life is still about Uno, the PNP delegates, or the bad choices that Uno make with the power that Norman Manley gave Uno to make these choices. Norman Manley put that in your hand and say, you, the delegate, are the ones I'm trusting with this power. I'm not trusting this power with anybody else but you, because this is what Norman Manley meant it to be. For all of us in our various locations to be a part of something that is great and good, and we can form ourselves in a group and we can sit down and discuss things, discuss PNP business. We can take on a PD, we can work that PD and deliver it for PNP on election day. So you, the delegates, are getting the blame again for this, and that's what he did. And I just want to get that out of the way and get that off my chest. The divisional conferences have kicked off for weeks now, and Mark Golding has been using the divisional conferences as a kind of platform to reintroduce himself again. I don't know if this is the third or the fourth or the fifth time, to people who don't know him. Now, him hugging the whole of divisional conferences, it basically be that all of them, for a few exceptions, because it's not a bad strategy for him to employ, to want to be at divisional conferences, to be there so people can get to know him again, and all the rest of it can never him try for them to know him already and then never know him again. So I'm using that, and that's not a bad thing. Him can do that, but just half of that strategy is good, partly good. Going out there all by himself and making the acquaintance of PNP people again is not a bad thing. So that part of it is good. The part of it that is not good is the fact that it's really not working for him. People seeing him and people getting to hear him, and it's not changing anybody's mind about him. When they share the life, people. So Mark Golding's strategy of going it alone into the divisional conferences and everybody all over the place doing them thing. Damien, a guest speaker for many conferences, and Raymond and the regular crew out there doing all of these divisional conferences I represent. Region 3 by far have had, Region 3 by far have had the most exciting conferences so far. Quite exciting conferences. There is Dennis Gardens Conference, Maxfield Park Division, and that was a massive conference. But before that, there was a Springfield Division Conference out by Vauxhall. Councillor Lorraine Dobson from Phillip Paulwell constituencies, Kingston and Port Royal. And that was a great conference where Damian Crawford was the guest speaker. And of course, him tear down the place and mash up Nigel Clark and Andrew Willis in certain kinds of way. Dennis conference was, what can I say, conference of all conferences, and therefore any conference that comes after that will have to try and keep up. So Region 3 has its stars cut out, but Region 3 always put on great conferences. It was especially nice to see Dr. Peter Phillips at the regional conference, at Dennis Regional Conference, the constituency which he still represents. So it was good to see him. And lo and behold, we had Almontown Charmian Conference, a great conference as well. And then there was some other little conferences. But by and large, Region 3 have had good conference. I have some issues with the conference flyers that have been going around. Of course, them not listen to nobody. Just like how them never listen to who tell them say Angela should not be chairman. Them not listen to nobody. So them still have these flyers, this thing about empowering a dream and powering up the dream, and they hear we're talking about it, so I mentioned it Saturday about powering up dream, and it still never make no sense no matter how much time I repeat it. Lo and behold now, if you don't know a delegate or no PNP people are poppy, no share the life to them, no? Because them going to want to hear this. Them going to really want to hear this. I'm a little distracted because of music in the background, and I've never had the music in the background before, but I get in there. So Dennis Conference gone, Springfield Division Conference gone, and a number of conferences gone. Duane Park Division Conference gone. The Duane Park people complaining, the delegates, the PNP people in Duane Park, complain most bitterly that Comrade Perry's picture was not on the flyer that they sent out. So there seemed to be something where they're not putting the sitting councillors' photographs not going, a picture not going on those flyers sending out. I don't know if it's some kind of strategy. I don't know what it is, but something not right with that. So the Duane Park people were upset about it. They spoke to me at length about it, that Comrade Perry's picture was not on the flyer. But not only Comrade Perry's picture not on the flyer, you know. In most of Region 3 conferences flyer, the Comrade Chairman of the region not on those conference flyers either. So there seemed to be some little issue with Ufa pictures I go up on flyer. But Dayton picture big up on flyer, and Mark picture big up on flyer, and in the case of the one gone last Saturday, Mercat picture was also on flyer. But there was no Dennis Garden on that flyer either. So the people have an issue with that Region 3. That would having a party printing flyers for conferences that have a sitting councillor, but the sitting councillor not involved in the conference. The sitting councillor picture not on the flyer. And I don't know what that is. Maybe we can explain to the PNP people what that is. Why the sitting councillor's picture not on the flyer. And so I brought it up last week, Friday I believe, when I saw the flyer for the Papine Divisional Conference, and it had on everybody else. It looks like a Rice conference, you know. There was Angela Brownberg on it, Peter Bunting on it, Mark on it, Dayton on it, and it was indeed a Rice conference because all of the Rice losers them show up at the conference. One of the losers was even cheering the conference at one point. I can't laugh because I'm going to cough. But on that flyer, there was no picture of the sitting PNP councillor in the KCC right now, Comrade Venetia Phillips. And I asked the question, why was Venetia's picture not on the flyer? Dennis' picture was not on the flyer either. When Region 3 print flyer for them conferences, the region chairman picture always dip on it. Him just might stroll in, him just might turn up, him just might walk in, he might just come catch and see what I want. So his picture was not on it, and Venetia's picture was not on it. So I asked the question. So I saw the flyer, and I saw that Dayton was hosting the conference, MC the conference. And so I put out a thing that I'm going up there. Now, one must know the resistance operate by now. We put it out because we want you to know we're coming. We put it out because we know how we're going to react. We know how we're going to respond. When you're going to war, there's one thing you must always do before you go to war with somebody. A very important thing in war. And that is, know your enemy. Know how your enemy think. Know how your enemy behave. Know what your enemy will do. Size up your enemy, man. Don't just go to war, because you can't go to war without sizing up your enemy. Let's see if somebody can. You can't go to war without sizing up your enemy. You have to know your enemy. And I know pretty well on the risers. Dayton, Campbell, Mark, the whole of I know them pretty well. Psyching out completely all the time. All the time the resistance psyching out. Because I'm stupid. So we about the Papine Divisional Conference, and we decide say we're going. But not only that we're going, we decide that we are going to show up and we're going to do it live, and we decide that we're going to make them know so we are come. Big and serious. So we send that out. And we go there. The conference was scheduled to start based on the flyer at 12 noon. We reach it before 10. And let me tell you why we reach it before 10. We reach it before 10 because we know how PNP operate. We don't know how PNP operate. Everybody get their money from Friday night. Everybody pocket line off and packed with money. Delegates, thugs, bad man, wanna be bad man. Everybody have money. Non-delegate, non-people from Papine, everybody have money. So they're going to show up early. They're going to show up down Mona, down a UWI early. Do you know why they're going to show up early? They're going to show up early because they have money in their pocket. They want to show up early. Then they want to leave. They want to go market. They want to go wholesale. They want to go supermarket. That's why they're going to show up early. A PNP, we know it operate. We don't know that. So I'm going to link up Miss Peter Gay Ferguson for me now, please. Because boy, do I want to talk to her tonight. Boy, do I want to have a conversation with Miss Peter Gay Ferguson tonight. So we were out there before 10. When we arrived, Ugly Dana, every time we see her, she uglier. She was up there. We go inside of the lecture room, all prettied up, decorated and looking splendorously nice. And then we went back outside, holding our vibes and talk to people who could rolling in. So people strolling in, we hold conversations with them because that's what we do. We talk to PNP people. So we're talking to PNP people in the yard out there. We talk to quite a few PNP people about all kind of things. And every time the resistance people talk to people, there is always somebody nearby taking a picture. I've no doubt about it. There's always, so we're taking pictures too. By the time the conference looked like a conference going to keep and people were there, a whole heap of people show up. People were bussed in from various places. I gather there was a YO meeting at party headquarters. So when that meeting finished, they bussed them up. Southwest, South St. Andrew, Western St. Andrew, Southeast St. Andrew, and one or two people from Central Kingston, 2 or 3, and one or two people from some other places. But the bulk of the people were from South St. Andrew, Western St. Andrew. Enough. They bust them in. We spoke to the YO people. I had a lovely conversation with a newly elected YO officer by the name of Dana. I think she said she named Dana Powell. Lovely young lady, bright and ready to take on PNP work. How am not corrupt them. And my focus turned very quickly to see who the delegates are showing up for the Papine division. And I want to tell Region 3 this tonight. I want somebody to tag the region chairman and the regional vice chairman and the regional secretary and let them know this. The private session that Papine division had last Saturday is illegitimate and unconstitutional. The private session did not have enough people from the Papine division to do any elections. A total of 13 people that are part of a group in Papine division turned up. 13, no more, no less. 13 people showed up from Papine division. 13 people who are in a group. And because they are in a group, they are basically delegate because it's a divisional conference. 13 people showed up from Papine division. There were a full room of other people. South, Southwest, Southeast, Western. And I'm in there doing election of officers. Region 3, that is not a legitimate conference. Nobody never in there from Papine division to elect anybody to any position. 13 people from a group. Now each division, I believe the last time I checked, must have 5 groups in order to qualify to be a division. Huh? So if you have 5 groups, you're supposed to have at least 50 people to come to a divisional conference to elect a divisional council. And they did not have that for the Papine division. That was not there. Throughout the entire conference, the 13 people got less. So the conference was basically, the public session of the conference was basically 3 or 4 popping people left at the meeting for the entire time that I was doing the live. And anybody feel like they want to challenge that, me could check the live. When you check the live, why don't you think I have the camera and the audience most of the time? Because we can point out to the popping people in. And no popping people never in there. Very few popping people was in there. So that's the first thing I want to talk about with the popping. The second thing, the fact that Cde Phillips was not on the flyer. And yes, when we spoke to the delegates, the group people, I don't know about delegates, but they are group members. When we spoke to the group members from Papi that showed up, and we asked them the question, we said to them, I said to them, do you believe, as a member of a group, and a PNP who voted in Papi since you were about 15 or 16, and I said to people like Ivan and Leroy and them, do you believe that Venetia should have been a part of the plan of the conference, and do you believe that her picture should be on the flyer? And they all unanimously agreed that that is the case. Why do they agree? Because she's still the sitting councillor in the Kingston and St. Andrew Metropolitan Corporation representing the PNP. And uno say, uno want unity? Why do all always take people for idiot? Talking about uno want unity. What kind of unity could I want? Uno put out a flyer and plan a conference around Cde Phillips, which the whole I have issue with. Me have issue with too. Yeah? I want to put out a flyer and plan a conference around her with all of the rise losers them show up and sit up on platform looking dull and bored and boring and ridiculous, and them just make PNP look like a frefre party. Just looking at them sit down there, make PNP Norman Manley would be ashamed of us if you look at the whole of them sit down there. The whole of them sit up on platform. Yeah? It was a rise card for them showed up without Cde. Now me know how Cde she operate. She's cantankerous, and I could even tell her she's a wicked and evil girl, that girl Cde. May I tell you? Because she brought this down from Papi Division too. As well, she contributed this to Papi Division. She contributed this that has now befallen the people of the Papi Division. So never put her name on it, her face over there on it. Nobody didn't reach out to her and ask her involvement in the conference. So she maybe hung up the phone, or she maybe cussing her and all of that. But put it on the record. Put it on the record that you did. Ask her about the conference and ask her to be a part of the conference and reach out to her. You can do that. But you never did. And the Papi people, them, the 13 of them who showed up, agreed that that should have been the case. But no, it was not the case. It was an elaborate coming out party planned by Dayton Campbell, Angela Brownberg, and Mark and Peter Bunting. It was a coming out party for one Miss Peter Gay Ferguson. And I'm going to tell you about Miss Peter Gay Ferguson tonight. I am going to call up the delegates. I'm going to tag the people myself in Eastern St. Andrew for me. Now, if you don't know any delegate, will live about Papi and Mona Ends and Golan and Augustown, tag them for me now and let them get the live. So the conference that was supposed to start at 12 never started in minutes to 2. Why? Because I was up there from before 10 o'clock and one of them, them yard and wherever locations they were, planning how to handle that. Because them can't handle we being there. So them be somewhere lose their mind and I plan how to handle that. If them come down there, what them are going to do and what going to happen, man, Ray. Rub on like chickens without head. When all we did was go to a PNP conference. We go ask some questions. Miss Peter Gay Ferguson, the so-called candidate, and believe you me, is so-called candidate. The so-called candidate for the Papi division. And Peter Gay, I'm not going to nasty you up the way people want me to. I'm above that. You are beneath me. You're not worth it. But Miss Peter Gay Ferguson turned up at the conference place about 1:28. You always tend to misunderstand the resistance, you know. We're sharp, you know. We're sharper than we're better at this and you better at this and you. May I do this long time, Peter Gay Ferguson. She showed up some minutes to 12, about, I don't know, about 1:38, I think, or thereabout. She showed up. Yeah, she showed up around them time. And she started walk and down and move up and down from one place to the other, make she pass, looking like she losing her shadow. Can't seem to settle down still. And things prolonging. People coming in, she run up and down like she lose her mind, blah, blah. Now standing out there, so where the ladies sell. Suddenly, I saw these men coming in, and they came in thug formation. You don't know what I talk about. You know thugs on the live, know what I talk about. The man them come in thug formation, thugs. And the moment I saw them, I knew they were coming. They were there for me. These men, about 4 of them, they were coming. They were there for me. So I moved quickly, greet them, hug them, tell them how them nice looking, tell them how them pretty, rub down the water with the goatee, go out with peer things while people take pictures with me and them. They didn't know me yet, but I know they were there for me because they came in thug formation. She called them went inside looking for her, didn't see her, come back out quickly and went up to her car, collect their money and come back down, and then they knew that I was their target. So they clicked into work and they started them work. So the full so-called private session are going on in there. Julia Robinson came and went and addressed it. Him and Swaby are the only ones who came and actually heal up the people them outside. Region 3 a class act, you know. Region 3 a class act because the rise losers, them become parchment and the whole of them. Them just come and just go in. When Julian and Swaby come, them heal up PNP people and stand up and talk to PNP people before them going to the conference. And them done and then come back out and heal up PNP people again. And gone. Region 3 is a class act. So meanwhile, the full private, so-called private session are going. I am thinking in my mind, I wonder what these thugs are supposed to do. But I am dismissing them. I'm doing my life. We hear the trumpet sing. When the trumpet sing, meeting either start or meeting done. And since it did sing already earlier, and it sing now, it means that meeting done. So I'm trying to go into the conference. Here comes Miss Peter Gay Ferguson. And there were the thugs at the door, pushing back on me. And we have all our own upon live, on the thugs. Miss Peter Gay Ferguson, you're going to learn a lesson. You're going to learn a lesson out of this. Trust me on that. So pay attention. So the thugs them pushing me out, and she moving towards me to tell them it's me and them mustn't let me in. She lifts her hand like she's about to push me, and I said, if you touch me, I'm going to thump you down in here. And she back off. Now let me pause and say something. Every place we have been, party headquarters twice, everywhere we have gone, the resistance is very clear. We're not going for war with PNP people. When we went to party headquarters, the first demonstration, the organized people for come war with we didn't take the bait. When we went second time, same thing. People want war with we. I didn't take the bait. We're not taking the bait because we're not physical altercation with nobody at any PNP function. That would be a disgrace. I don't want to be a part of anybody licking on nobody and thumping nobody and chopping nobody in a PNP headquarters at a PNP conference. Me not buying that, me not taking that bait, me not falling for that. So we clear our heads so we're not war with nobody. But them come for war. Because Miss Peter Gay Ferguson don't understand nothing about PNP. She just screw her way to where she is now, and somebody tell her she should take a seat here. And everybody come and big her up, starting with Andre Hilton, her first pass through, because she forgot to rite of passage through him first. And then he passed around to the other people for rite of passage. And she became, you know, moving on, pass it around. When I play a pass round donkey, that. So here she is with the thugs, pushing back at the door, and then push me out. Them still at the private session are done yet. It's alright. But we know it done. And them a push out, then a war win there. I'll continue to do the live outside. Finally, somebody came outside and Richard come and said them so we can come in. Can you imagine that? Me gave 40 years of my life and service and blood and sweat and tears to the People's National Party. And Uno, I tell me say, Uno tell me say, me can come in now at a PNP public session conference. The only person from Region 3 that was there with any authority and power is Carl Kirkland, and he is a part of that cabal. He may represent Region 3, he represent himself. Because I can't imagine that the Region 3 secretary is there. We now wow, nobody will not cuss who and go inside. And the Region secretary can say to them, say, we need to open the door and let the public come in. It's a public session. It's a PNP conference. It's a public session. And all these people outside are recognized PNP supporters. And them should come in. No, sir. Sir Kirkland was walking around like a cock chicken. Like him in charge of something. Because he is part of that cabal. He can't fool me. He can't fool the rest of it. He can't fool me. So finally we go in. And comrades, I took a position at the railing directly across from the entrance with the live. And behind me, along the passageway behind me, were about 7 men. 7 men, the thugs them, in my ears. But you come here for? You know for there, you know, man. You know for there, man. Go outside, but you for go outside. May you go outside. I said, no, I'm not going outside. Yeah, man. Why you don't like the girl? I said, which girl? I don't like the girl. She, I don't like her. I said, you like all girl? I said, yes. I said, well, some girls me not like. Huh, yeah. Yo, we are doing all right, you know. We are doing all right. I said, what is that am I doing? Tell me, sir. We are doing all right, man. I said, what? Tell me what me I do now? We're all right. We are doing all right, man. Because you talk up things about her. I said, me, I don't count her enough to talk about things about her. Yeah, man, you talk up things about her. I could go outside, man. You need to go outside. I come out, if you come out. I said, gentlemen, let me tell you something. My war zone I grew up in, I'm not afraid of you. So I don't need for just quit. Stop it. And them there behind me in my ears, the intimidation, the threats. Yo, you're gonna make me do things and threats and intimidation. And I have one way of dealing with those things. And that is not to escalate it. Because if I wanted, I could mash up the PNP conference by start shouting out and bawling out how them there behind me are threatening me. But me nah mash up PNP conference, no matter how flimsy and fool and boring it is. Me nah do that. So me I take it from them. Then I turn to them one time when them quiet, they're gonna say, "Wanna getting paid for this?" And I'm say, "Yeah." I said, "This is a big work, we need more money, we need to demand more money, because that's a big work this to get me out here. A big work we know I do. To intimidate me, so they need to ask for more money." And I'm laugh. I say, "Yeah, man, ask for more money, man." Tell her I say, "Me not take a chat from you now, no want more money." And every minute, Miss Peter gave Fergus to get up and run outside. And them one or two of them go. And they come back with more money and them start the intimidation again. One of them was directly behind me. He was a little bit threatening. You know why? Because he was saying less. But him look menacing behind me. Look round upon him. I say, "You okay, sir?" "Nah. Come out, you have to come out," I say, "You know. Yeah, man, you have to come out, man. Stop the live, man. Stop the live." I said, "I can't do that." "You don't stop the live." I said, "No." "Well, say something nice about her upon the live. Bigger up on the live." I said, "No, man. You can't push my button. You can't intimidate me. I not bigger up on the live. I not say nothing nice about her upon the live. You want the live? Take the live and you go and say something nice about her." "Oh, yo, go ahead. Touch me. Yo, man, where are you now, woman?" So I move away a little bit from him. Give him a little bit of distance so Richard could come down a little bit more. Because Richard know what my plan is. I went outside and left the phone to Richard one time and called the police. And make sure I make a report that, you know, them need to be up at the up here. And they did come up and up here. The intimidation went on for the entire time I was standing in their live. So Uno determined how long the live was, and that was how long the intimidation was. Them there behind me. One at a time, The one that looks like the leader, the goatee. Never pictured me and him because I was playing with his goatee outside when him come in. So that them could get a picture of me and him doing that. Him go out and come back in with something in his pocket and him go down to the back of the little passage there. Because you know them have a trap door down there and them have an exit, them have an emergency exit door. So I'm sit down there, so I'm like, yo, come down and come talk to me. Come down and man. Put on live, come down and come talk to me. I said, no, I'm not coming down there. And I don't know what down there. I don't know what behind that door. I don't know what you have in your pocket where you're coming here with. Because we're whispering, nobody can hear for the live. And we can't talk loud. I don't know what I'm doing down there. I'm not coming down there. I mean, I have nothing to defend myself if I come down there. So I'm not coming down there. When we're meeting done, I want to go outside and we talk. Stop the live, man. You hear myself stop, dude. And Miss Peter Gay Ferguson was as busy as a bee. Lose her mind completely. Every minute a speaker go up, them a look for her, them can't find her. Because she busy and organize thugs. And then again, me tell them, say, the work what them a do, them deserve more money. So them keep asking her for more money. So every minute she go, I have to give them more money. So I suppose they will thank me for that eventually. I say, this is a big work, man. We need more money than that. That when she go, no word, no tell her I said need more money. Because I'm tough, and I can't get to get me out. So of course, them going to do that and get more money. Was I scared a little bit? The one behind me that not saying nothing. Him was the only one who give me a little bit of chill. Because you can tell clearly that he has done many, many things in his life. See them eyes. His eyes are dead. And mystical. You know, that kind of eye we have a lot of ghosts in it. Yeah. So Miss Peter Gay Ferguson, the PNP candidate for the Papine division, organized criminals and gunmen to come intimidate me out of the PNP conference. And you got to ask yourself this question, comrades. You just got to ask yourself this question, Region 3. Why? Why? Just ask yourself a question. Why? Because I come there to do a live? And I like the conference? Why? Because what she has effectively done is undermine her own conference. By doing all of that, she not only undermined the conference, she made the conference look stupid. She looks stupid. In her own acceptance speech, because her coming out party, she never have a properly prepared text. We don't know what she talk about. She will start to lean up there looking like a damn skettle. A big up and a shout out people. She never have a properly prepared sketch. She don't look proper. She don't look organized. She don't look well groomed as a candidate presenting herself for the first time at a divisional conference so that them can see her, even though nobody from Papine, not that they see her. She failed spectacularly. It was an elaborate coming out party organized by Dayton them and Angela them for her. The pretty coach them pan the thing and all of that. But first thing, there was nobody from Papine to welcome her. Because the band not dead, eh? And she herself looked like a skettle. Looked like a damn butu. Not properly dressed, not properly groomed. Run up and down every minute, she gone like an idiot. And then the other losers them come, address the conference and bigging her up. Of course, I would big her up too if I had what they got. And that was all was going on and on. The conference was an empty conference. I want to watch it probably live. It was the most boring PNP conference I've ever been to. The speakers were dead, uninspiring, boring, don't have nothing to say, don't have no message, no offer no vision. Them couldn't offer nothing to the PNP people them at all. Nothing they could offer them. Some little dead stock speech. And bigging her up, the man them who she had to pass through first. Bigging her up. And yet, she couldn't put on a good conference. She undermined the PNP conference by bringing in thugs into the PNP conference to come intimidate me. Me. She come intimidate Karen C Cross. Jerusalem, me go up, you know, my girl. Jerusalem, Waterhouse, Samarkand, Dust, Balcom Drive. Jerusalem, I grew up, you know, I grew up Jerusalem, head the news every damn day. Jews have heard the news every damn day for about 20 years. The Jews have been afraid of thugs. But hear me out now, Miss Peter Gay Ferguson. Because I know you. I know you now. I know that you were the girl that was down at Westmoreland or Luther Buchanan constituency and thief up the CDF money. And people that complain about you. Now when we were in Westmoreland East, some PNP people, well, 2 PNP guys was cussing as to why they may have nothing with Luther. Because Luther made the girl control up all the money because the girl has sit down in her face. May I repeat what the PNP people them say. Richard and Princess can be my witness, and Angela who came with us, Angela Groves was with us in Westmoreland. Who be my witness. The man them say the girl thief up the whole of the money because she has sit down in her Luther face at night time. So, and I didn't pay that any attention. Why? Because those things are into constituencies where everybody are war with the CDF officer. It's a common thing throughout the whole constituencies. All the constituencies. People are war with the CDF officer. Because everybody wants our money. Why I didn't do anything about it or said anything about it is because I chalked it up to be somebody from the constituency doing it. And nobody now go, those who not getting what they want always complain about who the CDF officer is. So I wasn't taking it on. But when I discovered that it was her, I had to call back the comrade. I had to call him, I had to say to him, I understand what you say now. And the man looked at me on the phone. I said, you're an idiot, man. You're an idiot. Not to come and say, I'm an idiot. I just take it because I'm an idiot for true. Can you tell me? I never listen to him. Because I thought he was just griping about the fertilizer and the machine where we want and how the girl right down his name and she take away the money and them never get nothing because she has sit down a Luther face and him now sit down a Luther face. So, that is what he must call about. Somebody wasn't getting that, so I never get it. But I get it now. So I know you, Miss Peter Gay Ferguson. I want Region 3 to consider this. Venetia won Papi in division by 155 votes in 2016. Fayetteville won Papi by nearly 280 votes. Almost 300 votes, I think. Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, please. Fayetteville won Papi by 200 plus vote. I'm going to round it off to 300. And Venetia won it by 155. When I looked at the enumeration records for Papi today, and saw where the enumeration going, when I asked the person in the electoral office yesterday if these people are people who people bring in or they just walk in and got enumerated, she said the JLP mostly bring in their people, PNP not bringing in nobody. But she said, I hope people from PNP areas come enumerate. So listen up. If you carry them, go enumerate them, don't count them as your voter. And since you not carry none, you don't have none. So watch this. Venetia won by 155. Fayetteville won by nearly 300. That's a turnaround vote of 450 to 500 votes. To win the Papi division, you need back everything you had, which you're not going to get back. You're going to lose at least 30% of what you had. Plus, you're going to need that 500. Now, tell me how you're going to win with a young woman that nobody knows. And when I say nobody don't know her, I mean nobody don't know her. Nobody. The delegate people, the group people that turn up from Papi, even them admit that them don't know her. Them admit that people don't know her. And them they are PNP long time PNP people them there. And them say about the noir. The era where Miss Peter Gay born and grew up in, not a soul know Miss Peter Gay. And I want you to don't listen, don't laugh, you know. Don't stop me laughing. Nobody don't know this girl. The delegates when she give money for come, no know her. And I never asked them to betray her or anything. I just lean up on the thing and say, so, what you think? So everybody know her, so? No. May I tell you, Comrade Karen, no. People don't really know her, but I shouldn't have much time, so she have to start work. But that's a little money when them get attacked. Them really have more to say about that. A PNP people, we know them. They want to say more, but then get money and them have a market when them done. Don't bother trouble people and them money, make them go and do what them do. No, Miss Karen. Now, Miss Peter Gay born and grew up in a place named Gola. And I don't want to laugh again. Nobody in Gola don't know Peter Gay. There's a PNP woman down there who's 63 years old. She has never lived anywhere else but Gola. And if me ask she and she don't know Peter Gay, then nobody don't know Peter Gay. Because she a Mount Massey town crier. Nobody don't know Peter Gay. Ferguson. So if nobody don't know her Gola, how people are going to know her anywhere else? When you share the life to Peter Gay, I want her to see it, because I know she just sneak off and I watch it somewhere. I know your story, Peter Gay Ferguson. I know everything I need to know about you. I have you pegged. So here's my message to Miss Peter Gay tonight. You bring thugs come intimidate me and come threaten my life. I may have them pictures. And I decide that I am going to do this live tonight before I do anything else. And tomorrow, I go to the police station. I go forward the images of the man them to the police. And I go make a report about the intimidation. And I'm going to name you, Peter Gay Ferguson, as the person who hired them to come and intimidate me. So you better start running and hide now, because the man them going to look for you. When them use the police, I look for them, and you them come look for. Because I'm going to name you. And I'm going to show them the picture of you and the man them talking up on your van. I'm telling you some idiot, you know. I'm telling you some whole of an idiot. I'm going to show them all the pictures from the conference. And I'm going to name you as the person who they say hired them to intimidate me and threaten my life at a PNP meeting. And your labor right, because you undermine the entire PNP conference of Papi, where you are the candidate and you undermine it. The whole of the risers have this one thing about to know. And your conference, your coming out party, where them say you're going to represent the PNP and you undermine it the way you did by trying to put us out and bringing in thugs to come intimidate me. Do I look like somebody that can be intimidating Peter Gay? Me a soldier. Every day of my life, me prepare to die. What's the matter with you? Every day of my life, I am prepared to die. Because me a soldier. So hear me. I am going to wage a war with you now. So let's see what you're going to do. Because I'm going to report you. I'm going to name you in my report as the person who hired these guys. And the police go have them pictures. And I'm going to put the pictures them on Facebook. And make people go tell them send them pictures up on Facebook. Because police are look for them. Listen up, Peter Gay. The great Theodore Roosevelt. I don't remember if Theodore was the 21st president or 22nd president of the United States. Theodore Roosevelt said, if I have to choose between peace and righteousness, I choose righteousness. And you mess with me by trying to lock me out of PNP conference public session and bring thugs to come intimidate me and frighten me. You're wrong up, my girl. And you can't walk in my shoes. You are way beneath me. Way beneath me. I walk coming at PNP. You coming at PNP for your knee and your back. I walk on my 2 foot and coming at PNP. So you can't lock me out of PNP. And that's the whole thing I want to do. Dating Canberra, take off my mother group off a group list. Because I want to put me out of PNP. Take off my mother group, take off Jacko group. And you come and try to lock me out of PNP conference. That's the sound of labor right. Hold on. I walk on my 2 foot coming at PNP. You came in on your back and your knees. walk my walk. You are a disgrace for a young woman. And the region need to think twice about having you as a candidate. Because I am not one of those who would say, I hope PNP lose a seat. I want somebody. I don't want to lose a PNP seat because I have some angst with somebody. I am never one of those. I have angst with you. I wouldn't want to lose a PNP seat. But if you are the candidate, the PNP seat in Papine is going to go. You can't win it. And I'm willing to bet anything I have. I don't have not much, but I'm willing to bet it all. That you can get 200 votes in the Papine division. Because if you sabotage a simple thing as your coming out party, your conference, if you sabotage that, actively up and down sabotage your own conference, what would you do on election day? During election campaign, what would you do? Is the region going to leave a possible pickup seat, retaining that seat for the PNP? Is the region going to leave that in your hands? Can't leave it in your hands. You're about to. No matter what kind of car you drive and how much education you have, a butto, you put butto in a Benz, it's still a Benz and you're still a damn butto. Can't win PNP seat, you're going to lose it. And I hope them don't make you the candidate. Which brings me now to Cde Karen in Region 3. I am a loyal Region 3 person. I'm loyal to the region. I'm loyal to personalities. I respond to personalities. No matter what them have and what them can do. How much power and money them have. I'm loyal to personalities. I'm loyal to Region 3. It's where I live. It's where my mother lived. My mother served David Core. She served Carl Russian Thompson. She served A.J. Nicholson, Minna Wilmot, and David Walker. That's a great footstep when I'm walking, and my mother great footstep. But it appears to me that there is some kind of effort by some people in Region 3 to sanitize and reintroduce Cde Karen into Region 3. Sanitize and incorporate him into Region 3. And I saw the moves. I see the moves them. I see him first at Jesse James conference in Southeast St. Andrew. Jesse James is a fine young fellow who's going to win that seat from Carrie Douglas for PNP. Fine young fellow. I don't know for the life of me why a fine young fellow like Jesse James would want Cde Karen at him conference. The PNP does strange things. Strange things. So I saw him there, issuing a non-apology to Peter Phillips, which is a non-apology. Then, him there popping, and he was on the poster, I believe, for the Heavendale conference as well. And I'm thinking in my mind that why Region 3 need to bring in Cde Karen into Region 3 to come to conferences? Why is that important? Why? Everybody have up this argument in them head. You know, him is the General Secretary. And yes, him have a case in the court. But him is still the General Secretary. You need to come in the region. Come do what? Come here, region, come do what? Introduce candidates? Speak at conferences? Why? It's more than that. It's much, much more than that. And I'm going to tell the PNP people them. Cde Karen sanitization and reintroduction and rehabilitation into Region 3 can only mean one thing as far as I am concerned. And that is to get Angela Brownberg. Now, everybody want to get rid of Angela Brownberg out of PNP. Everybody. Angela Brownberg is the most hated political woman in this country. Hated. Angela Brownberg. The most hated person in politics is Angela Brownberg. And hate is a strong word, Not a word that I love, but people hate Angela. 85% of the PNP hate Angela. 10% kinda hate Angela. And the next 5% kinda not like Angela. So there you go. That's Angela's status in the PNP. And I'm on board with any plan at all to get rid of Angela. Any plan. But I date no plan for you. For coming a region 3, come lava off him out by Angela. And that region 3 a plan? I don't know who doing all of this thing. But it seems to me that region 3 wants to get rid of Angela. And because Angela and Dayton agree right now because the tent burned down. You don't know the tent burned down, right? The tent burned down. Bunting and Angela under the burned down tent. Dayton and Ian take piece of the tent and catch it up with 2 pieces of sticker and 1 piece up there so. Angela next look whoever next look piece of the tent catch up round there so. So everybody have them own look a catch up part of the tent. And Bunting and Angela still slung under the burn up tent. And the rice camp is scattered. Everybody scattered and doing them own thing now and a war against them one another. Now, them can't fool Uno, but them can't fool me. I don't think that will last very long. Because all of them have one common goal. So I don't know. So whoever believe that having Dayton, well, Dayton must know how to use him, I use him. I mean, everybody have been using Dayton. Peter Bunting used Dayton. Everybody use him and this guy, why does I use him so? Because I don't see him doing nothing for himself, I do it for them. So Angela and Dayton are war, and some people in Region 3 decide to bring him into Region 3 to come to conferences so as to piss off Angela and so as to create a thing where he can come and lab him out for Angela. Well, me a still that I wonder. Me not busy with it. Wanna go on? Continue along with Uno Dayton thing in a Region 3. But everywhere in Region 3 that Dayton is going to be, the resistance showing up. Every conference, him show up. We are going to show up too. Just want to know where him there. And we're not showing up to war with nobody. We're showing up to register our disgust with them. And Dayton, I have to tell you, at the conference out there, Dayton big up the resistance. Yeah man, Dayton give the resistance a big up. I don't know if we should be afraid of that or we should like it. I am still between 2 minds about it. That Dayton actually big up the resistance. Give the resistance a big up on the resistance. I'm also between 2 minds wondering if him had anything to do with the whole thing that Miss Peter Gay Ferguson was doing. For some reason, I feel that he didn't. But then again, we don't trust them. So you don't know if you believe. You can't trust them. So I don't know, it never looked to me like him know what she had do. Angela could very well have known what she was doing. Because one of them look stiff and, like them losing them mojo, or they have lost their mojo maybe. But Dayton big up the resistance. And I got to see Dayton up close when him quoting Bible verse, and it's not a nice look. Stop it, Dayton. All kind of evil people quote right. I can see the evil on you when you quote the Bible verse. Stop it. But Dayton big up the resistance. You can't take it for whatever you want to take it for. I am still maintaining that might be a good thing, but I don't trust them with what they're doing. So that is that with that. So let's move right along now into that. In the midst of all of that, there is Mark. Let's go back up a bit. Moving around in all the divisional conferences them and doing all them kind of things and all the rest of it. And the resistance and most people on social media have been asking, where is Lisa Anna? Why is Lisa Anna not at any of the divisional conferences? Where's Lisa Anna? Damian Crawford busy at divisional conference. If he may get pay, he may be a rich man by now. But him doing him duty and service to the People's National Party. And him busy doing conferences. But where's Lisa Anna? Why Lisa Anna not doing no divisional conferences? Why Lisa not guest speaking nowhere? Why she not showing up anywhere and give some support to some conferences across the country? She has been to none. Not one. And so we decided to inquire. Why is it that Lisa Anna not at any divisional conference? Why? And this is the conclusion we came to. Fitzroy Wilson in the basketball division said to us when we went out to St. Mary the other day that he invited Lisa to be his guest speaker at his conference, which was Sunday, I believe, Sunday gone. And Lisa told him she couldn't come, and she gave him a reason why she couldn't come, because she don't want to upstage the party leader. So I'm trying to figure out if that is a decision that she made by herself, that she don't want to go to divisional conferences to upstage the party leader because him out there trying to introduce himself again, or them tell her not to do it. I'm trying to figure out which one it is. Why is Lisa Anna not at any conference? Their conference are by mouth. Damien, they're all over the place are doing thing. Raymond all over the place are doing them thing. Everybody I do conferences. Why is Lisa Anna not doing any conferences? Why would Mark Golding want to take on the conference thing them all by him lonesome himself and not have Lisa and Damien? I mean, see man no conference. Well, there was one a year with him and Lisa and Damien together. Is it that I don't get it? Is it that Mark Golding still afraid that people are going to overshadow him and now get to know him if them come with him? What kind of foolishness is that? These are your stars. You are going to divisional conference. You stars them over east and you over west. I mean, that's not a bad thing. But there should be some kind of coordination with all the stars and gather some places to tear down the place and rile up PNP people and bring them back in the fold and make them see PNP in all its glory. Why would Mark Golding be afraid to have Lisa Anna out there at some divisional conferences with him? Why? If it's him, Sam don't want Lisa out there at the conference. Why? Who gave him that advice? Who could probably give him that advice as to him no want Lisa out there? That Lisa she not do no conference. Why is that? Why Lisa not do no conference? She just dead all by her alone herself, so she go walk with Fitzroy Wilson, but she can't go him conference. I want to know why. We want to know why. Why Lisa Anna not doing any conferences? Comments I don't want to stay too long on this. So may I ask that. There are some things we're not going to deal with tonight, but right now we're going to just deal briefly with our road tour in Trelawny and St. Mary. So we trod on down to Trelawny. And as we left Trelawny, all hell broke loose in a Trelawny. Everybody in a Trelawny start get tizzy. Dayton Compa will post in all of his glorious Facebook name them. And them start attacking us because we went to Trelawny. And what happened in Trelawny? You don't want to know? Talk up now, man, if you don't want to know we're going to Trelawny. Talk about what if you don't want to know we're going to Trelawny. What happened in Trelawny? Let me just pause a little bit and say this. We're going to get back to the Peter Gay Ferguson thing and the Mark Golding thing. But I want to deal with Trelawny. So we went down Trelawny and we got to look for PNP people and talk to PNP people. And I want to say something from the outset about Victor Wright. Victor Wright started attending Peter Bunting Rise meetings them. I believe when I talk to Trelawny people them from them know so them we are talking about now. When I talk about the Trelawny people them. Talk up the risers, then whether war with we or we hide coming at Trelawny. Because we never hide going at Trelawny. We were very, very much up and about in Trelawny. But to tag them, we could talk to them about Trelawny and the role that them play in destabilizing Trelawny and why Victor Wright lose. On to tag the Trelawny people them, we could talk with them. My throat is going. Victor Wright started attending some rise meeting with Bunting, maybe from about 2018 or so. Because Bunting started up them with a rise meeting. I remember the 2018 conference. He had a dinner something after conference thing up in my yard. I call one of my brethren we always come in from country and we always hang out and ask him where we hang out. He said, I go to Bunting there because Bunting have thing up there. So when Bunting started having him rise meetings, then Victor Wright was invited. Now Victor Wright go the rise meeting them and eat and drink. I think Victor Wright went for the food. Because Victor Wright did live in a little flimsy apartment in Kingston where they even have one kitchen. So I think Victor Wright go to them things just for the food. By the way, back in those days when Bunting having those meetings, it was thought and felt that everybody who attend those meetings supporting whatever agenda him depend. Because at the time he just start with him thing, start set up him thing to decide to go challenge Peter Phillips. So Victor Wright go to the meetings them. And they assume that because Victor Wright come to the meetings, Victor Wright is a part of them. When Victor Wright decided to support Dr. Peter Phillips instead of Bunting, them rage a war against Victor Wright. Dayton Campbell swore on his mother's life that he will destroy Victor Wright because Victor Wright take them for fool. That's why now when we go to Trelawny and come back, Dayton came out for our Facebook page with all them fake name them to attack us from different fake name because he knows so we find out we go on to Trelawny and he know we are come talk about it. This is PNP thing, people. Victor Wright going to support Peter Phillips, and here and behold, Dayton Campbell start losing mind and threaten and swear that he's going to get even with Victor Wright because Victor Wright betrayed him and not supporting Peter Bunting and Ray and blah blah. So in the elections, poor Victor never know what to do with himself. Promised them to support them, never get to support them. Support Peter Phillips and then decide that they will wage a campaign for him to lose the PNP seat in North Trelawny. And boy did they go to work on Victor. The campaign committee filled up with people who were anti-Victor Wright. Campaign committee members sit down and meet and record the meeting for Bunting and date to hear it. Man down Trelawny will make money out of PNP, out of road work, out of things. I give labor money to vote against Victor Wright. PNP people like Annette Parchment, the same girl on Facebook named Barham, and the whole of them work hard to lose the PNP seat in North Trelawny. I want us to believe that them are PNP. To destroy Victor chances of retaining that seat. Because Dayton Campbell thought that he should have supported Peter Bunting. Dayton Campbell carry feelings of Victor Wright because Victor Wright used to come at the meeting them. And because he used to come at the meeting them, they assume that he must support Bunting. So when him change his mind, well, I don't know if he actually changed his mind or if he actually had said that he was going to support them. Them throw him to the wolves and undermine him. How many nights have we come on here and talking about the undermining of the PNP seats them? Dayton confess to that on Saturday, that him undermine the PNP seat. Him undermine the PNP because David sent independent candidate come run against him. Him confess that. He confessed that. And him run a campaign, across the board campaign against Victor Wright for Victor lose. Him infiltrate, he make sure the people them down there, the gal them when him finance and open bar and fix up shop and buy and set up shop, close store, bar, whorehouse, everything. and set them up to destroy Victor Wright's chances of retaining the PNP seat. And now walk around like a cock chicken and a behave like un in charge of something because the PNP licky delegates them and the PNP too no. And that's why we not behave so. Look at Uno. Look at that Papi in conference. Look at Uno look. Despondent, dazed, dull. Nobody don't want to be down the space. I want to destroy PNP seat. Only use one man down there. I don't remember his name, but I don't want to call him name anyway. Him get all of the road work in a Clarendon. And never do the road them good. The people them complain to me. How the man get every road work a Victor give him. And him never do the road good. And Victor take back the contract from him. You know what him do? You don't know what him do? He did and abetted by Annette Parchment and her crew. And give Labour right money. And give PNP money for vote, not for vote for Victor. And support Labour right. Not to go vote out Victor. Because Victor take on the road work for him. After him now fix the people them road. Tell me. Only think that them are PNP? Them they are PNP too, no? Seriously. Them the people that are PNP? Dayton Campbell carry feelings for Victor Wright because Victor Wright did not support Bunting. And Dayton Campbell led that campaign personally with Annette Parchment and all of the other girl them down a Trelawny to undermine and make Victor Wright lose a seat. And the world them now sit down, cock up themselves with this little bit of seat what we have and I try control PNP and nothing now happen. I don't know what I'm going to tell God say, no. Seriously, I don't know what I'm going to tell God say. This girl, Peter Gay Ferguson, down in Westmoreland, thief up the CDF money, antagonize PNP people, and contribute to Luther losing PJ seat. And what you do? What you do? You take her up and put her in a region tree. Reward her for losing PJ seat. Just like how now walk on a reward losers. You reward her for what she did to PJ seat. And now she up a puppy undermining the very division that you give her figure win. What you doing? Seriously, what you do? You don't understand yourself about nothing? You don't understand yourself? I would not bring the in a region 3 to come lab off him mouth by Angela. Because you don't hate Angela that much. I don't hate Angela, I don't like Angela, but I don't hate her. I don't like the I don't hate him either. I can't feel them the emotions. I don't know how them the thing they feel if you just hate people. Them the things we don't feel. I don't feel them things there. But if you don't have him in a region 3, I run up and down in a region 3 conference. You don't do it because you don't know say him and Angela war now in the rice camp. Them all get back together, you know. You hear me region 3 alone we plan that. Me don't know who no be, you know, I can find out. But all alone we plan that. Him and Angela no agree now. What about when they agree back? What are you gonna do? They don't realize I use him, you not use him. For coming to region 3 to come antagonize Angela. I mean, Angela forget antagonize, but not by him. Who for run Angela out of region 3, but not by him. You not have my prance around in a region 3 to make all kind of worries in a region 3. Region 3 have enough worries. Region 3 is a class act, you know. We Anglo worries them differently in a region 3, you know. Why on God's green earth wouldn't want him a prance up and down in your region 3 here? Just to give Angela grief. Huh? I do not believe on any given day, Teddy Roosevelt said, if I have to choose between peace and righteousness, I choose righteousness over peace. Angela not good for the PNP. I warn about Angela. You never listen. And now not inside war. Using dating for inside war with Angela. Well, you listen up. You see that fake degree where Angela have? It's a fake degree for all the right reasons. But let me tell you what not fake about that degree. If them haven't that degree, Mark, doctor of sabotaging, Angela win no. Doctor of backstabbing, Angela win no. Doctor of undermining, Angela win no. If 5 hours gather to plan to get Angela, somebody in there so belong to she. But telling you, know, but now before we elect her as chairman, you know, that she on a different level than Uno. We above Uno. We above Uno. In undermining and backstabbing and betrayal. Angela genius at that. So whatever Uno plan. Sorry for telling you. Uno gonna lose. I mean Angela a friend. I mean I defend her. I'm not join any group, forget with Angela, but that group better be a Region 3 group. When we gonna choose between Dayton Campbell coming into Region 3 to come tear down Angela. And someone will agree with that. Someone no see it. No see it say, and a conference. It's not a conference thing. That's just a farce. And I don't doubt in my mind that is a farce. That's a damn farce. About conference and general secretary and come talk. I use them. They can't be, you know, so me ain't a friend. And I don't like you. I use them, I go use you. And then them I go throw you away. I ain't that way it work. Not gonna work. Because you can't come in a Region 3. Come make up nice and chat crap and go at Angela. Now Region 3 and believe that you're going to win that. They're going to run left you when it get hot. I use them, I use you. I mean, I give you no advice. I like to see them use you and tear you down. I give you no advice. But now you make them I use you. That never happen. With Angela Brownberg. So that is that. With that. Now Phillip Paulwell, the connection boss, the great one. Enough respect and love to Phillip Paulwell. Phillip Paulwell had a live the other day with Mark Golding. And when Comrade Paulwell told me that him doing him live with Mark Golding, I supported it. I supported it. I supported it because I was thinking to myself, any little semblance that a unity might actually happen is a good thing. And I still do believe that no unity can take place unless we have a reckoning. Dayton confessed to something on Saturday. We want more confessions. We never beat you up, Dayton. Confess to the rest of things, Confess to what you do to Victor Wright in a Trelawny. Confess to that too. We're not going to dwell on it. We're not going to dwell on it. We want to acknowledge. Acknowledge what Uno did. Acknowledge it. So Uno did this thing. And it cost us these seats. And it cost us where we are now. Acknowledge it. But Paulwell out there trying to bring unity to the thing. Working overtime and hard. And besides, I'm going to bring Mark on him live. Majority of the people who support Comrade Paulwell live disagreed with it. They make it clear, say them not going on it. They make it clear, say them now watch it. They made it clear that Paulwell should not do no live with Mark. And the people who are saying this have a legitimate right to say that. Because they were the ones who built Paulwell live. They were the one who made it into the success that it is. It's not him do it by himself. It's the people who share it and promote it and watch it and share it again. Those are the people who made Paulwell's life successful. So naturally, if Paulwell going to bring on Mark, Paulwell need to consider how the people that will watch him live and bill him live feel. That's a natural thing. And so them backs. Them say them now go up on it. Them now support it. Them now promote it. Them now go on it. So Paulwell go and do him live. And boy, connection boss, you made a fundamental mistake. I supported the live. And because I was hearing from so many people on social media and around the country that they're not going to watch the live, now support the live, now share the live because you're bringing on Mark, I felt that I had to go out there and put myself out there in support of the live so that people can understand that it's not about Mark, it's about PNP, it's about any semblance of trying to reach some unity, so trying to get people to understand that. So I went all out. I did post, I share it, and I did a voice note in support of the live. And I never expected much from it. But truly, I expected a question to go to Mark. I expected a question to say to Mark, so Mark, the whole of the PNP people them out there will fight up on social media and across the country. We have issues with you. Them have issues with you because of the WhatsApp leak. Them have issues with you because of the undermine that the PNP candidate them during the 2020 elections. What do you have to say about that? That's a simple question that Comrade Paulwell could have asked Mark. A simple question. So that we all could be satisfied to hear Mark answer that question. Mark, the PNP people them vex. You undermine the party and become leader. The WhatsApp leak where you're in there call the party that party. The WhatsApp leak where the whole in there plan for not vote for PNP and to undermine and to sabotage the election. And then in 2020, you actively sabotage the election. And PNP people want to know why you do it. They want some recourse, they want some blood. So what you have to say about that, Mark? So him answer that. We expect some question like that. But it never came. And that was the first thing about our angst. Comrade Paulwell, you built that live. The first day you came, the first Friday you came and a one person on it. The second Friday you come on and one person on it. The third Friday you come on 3 person on it. And it goes from 3 to 5 to 15. You bring on the socialism talk and you live, take off and pitch off and run the place. Basically gave PNP people some insights into what PNP is, what PNP was, what PNP should be. Your live was like a Friday evening refreshment for PNP people to come and listen and learn. That was what the live was about. Well, it is about. So you went and you go bring Mark. You change the format of your interview, of your live, Comrade Paulwell. You change it to suit Mark. You carry the live to OLO. You carry the live to the opposition leader office. It was not just a live where you dare your place and interview him like you interviewed everybody else. You went and set up thing at OLO. So it wasn't alive anymore. It looks more like a promotional thing for Mark Golding. And people vex about that. People vex about that, Comrade Paulwell. Worse, you didn't get to ask him the question. But here why people vex most of all now. You make this little floozy girl at OLO, Peter Gay Ferguson, and Bunting other side chick, Nick, Deputy General Secretary PNP, oh Jesus help us. And make them run the live through Zoom. And when the live start, we cancel the live. And them a run up and down at OLO, I talk about them a delete with comments. And them a go black we are for the live. Them a delete comments from PNP people. We are following your live from the beginning. Them sabotaging the live. Preventing PNP people, risers like dirt running on them Zoom. To big up them rise leader. But the PNP people who built and followed that live were shut out of the live. I want to say, you know want unity? With who? But no one unity we don't know. Look how I do. When you get a golden opportunity, just like how the girl get a golden opportunity on Saturday. And squander it. It's the same thing we did with the live at OLO. Squander that opportunity by blocking off people off of the live and deleting people's comment and run up and down and talk about who no one for the live. You say, Luna Samba, I don't ready for you yet. You Luna Samba, if you're a big red woman, you're a slacker, and if you go look at work, you're the first one I know with a law degree you can't get a work. You Luna Samba. A big red woman like you, and me a big red woman, so I can call you a big red woman. A big red woman like you, sit down up at OLO office and encouraging people to black people off alive and white people and delete people comment. And Paulwell did it in the name of unity. He did it to show the PNP people them that, you know, we can come together. I mean, I dwell upon the fact that Marx said the PNP was formed in 1930. I dwell upon the fact that this was an attempt at a unity thing, and once again, uno F it up. So therefore, there's only one conclusion to come to now. With what Miss Peter Gay Ferguson did in Eastern Westmoreland, what she did at her coming out party at Papine on Saturday, and what she did at OLO on that live, there's only one conclusion to come to. One conclusion. And that is Bunting side chick them in the OLO office is there to undermine Mark, to make sure same feel. What other conclusion could I possibly come to? What other conclusion could anybody come to? Uno get Paulwell live at OLO. A golden opportunity. But I know, I don't want him to succeed. Golden opportunity uno get. Golden opportunity. Paulwell brought his life to Uno. And Uno busy and lock out people and I delete people comment and mark the planet Uno leader. All I want was cheerleaders from the Rice camp for coming and say, yes, Rice boss, and yes, the boss, and Mark will be Prime Minister, and on the damn dream. So Bunting, Mark Golden must realize by now that the people in the leader of the opposition, the Queen's opposition office, are there. A Bunting people there. Mark don't have no people. Mark don't have no people. Everybody know Mark don't have no people. So everybody around him are Bunting's people. And they are paid to make sure him stay there, but also to make sure him feel at any attempt at uniting the PNP. Bunting want him to feel. He must not pass that. That can't work. Because it's the one thing that Bunting fears. If it's the one thing that the risers fear and the losers them, the parchments, the whole of the Silveras, all of the one thing the whole of fear is a united PNP. Who don't want it divided, because if it's united, Bunting can't stay. If it's united, many can't stay. Many can't stay. So they don't want a united PNP. Angela don't want a united PNP. A united PNP, Angela can't function now, united PNP. So all of the side chick them, we don't need to tag mark this. All of the side chick them, we are working at the Queen's opposition office. Everything that they have done is to undermine Mark Golden's efforts at trying to unite the party with Phillip Paulwell and a crew of people who are working towards that. Every single thing that they have done. Now this damn floozy get PNP seat about Papi. Have the leader come in there, fear leader, and hire thugs to intimidate me, Karen Cde Cross. Thugs. I tell them that if I ask for some more money, because to intimidate me a big work. Thugs. I see every minute run out of a fine money give them. Because them couldn't get me out. So Peter Gay Ferguson, Nick and the rest of them, all of them there. Oh, Mark went to Oxford and can't see them something here. So the whole of them there to undermine his efforts. To make him look like an idiot. To give him stupid things to say. Because that's the only way you can keep on the work, keep on the position, is to keep him there looking like a damn ass. And tell him about him have traction. Don't stop telling lie on the man. Don't stop lying to the man, him don't have no traction. The only traction mark out here is we give it to him. Every traction mark about here is the resistance give to him. We are the only ones out here giving him any traction. Who in there undermine him? Who undermining him? You, Peter Gay Ferguson. You, I want to call you up some name, but I'm not going to stoop to that level. But I'll go to the police station tomorrow and report you. I'm going to put those names in my report. No, you hire a man to come intimidate and frighten me. I want to undermine Mark. I undermine the life. And push it back. 6-7 months back. One little effort. I couldn't handle it. We turned up at Papi to ask Cde Karen a question and to broadcast a conference. And you F that up. Paulwell pull down him live from its regular thing and bring it to Uno at OLO and you F that up. Uno park Lisa on one side, Uno want her to go speak on a conference. Like Uno eat that, Uno know for work, make Lisa work with Mark and go with Mark to conference. Uno F that up. What's the matter with Uno? How do you unite PNP? When Uno in there, Uno look at floozy chicks, Uno concubines and whores, sluts, but in there, undermining every effort that is put forward. Every effort that is put forward, Uno undermine it for him to fail. Because him being there and failing at everything else is the only way Uno can survive. Because with all of the education with the whole around, I can't get the work nowhere. Because we have skettle, we have butu, we don't have no sense. You have a coming out party for the division that them give you, and you go there, go undermine it. We don't have no sense. We don't have absolutely no sense. Cde Campbell, carrying vengeance for Victor Wright, because Victor Wright did not support Peter Bunting. He got support Peter Phillips, and you organize and orchestrate for him to lose PNP seat. And then you answer the question and confess on Saturday that you undermine and sabotage PNP elections because they've been sent third party candidate go around. So you're wicked. You're not wicked. PNP now go unite. No matter what lie you not tell Mark. The conferences are wonderful. And him going out there. I'm not lie them I tell you, Mark. Not a unity not take place. None. Because every time you make an effort, Mark, them undermine you, them don't want a unity. So therefore, the only way forward is our way, the resistance way, is to tear it all down, drag it down pound the head. Because Uno are the ones who tear down the PNP and bring it into public disrepute and causing it to splinter all over the place. Uno, you undermine your conference. You damn idiot. Undermine the conference for a seat where PNP just took up gear that you don't deserve, you don't work for, you don't deserve it. And you couldn't even put on a good show. Instead, you undermine it. And undermine your leader coming there. Paulwell, take him live, move it from in regular format and bring it into a format to make Mark comfortable. And Uno never see that as a golden opportunity. Uno didn't see that as a golden opportunity to push the thing together a little bit more, bring it. No, Uno went on a regular division and Bunting's instructions. That man, Alcashatas man, is the wickedest thing on God earth. And God will beat him worse than him I get beaten now. Uno sit down there, undermine Uno leader who will make some attempt at something. I expect that nobody I go unite with you. Uno move yourself here, man. Nobody not unite nothing with you. We're not going to talk about St. Mary tonight. And that we're going to further with that. We're not going to talk about St. Mary. But when we come back on the next live, we will be looking at the vice presidential nominees, whoever they are. And as I said to you, PNP delegates before, Norman Manley gave this. Norman Manley didn't give it to the leaders, nor the NEC, nor the REC. He gave it to you, the PNP delegates. He said, here, you are the delegate. You make the choice. I only need to know who the people are that are not going to be electing for the vice president. And we're going to tear the plaster off of them face. We're going to take off them masks and them costumes. And we're going to expose them for all I want to see them. All of them. Every single one of them that nominate. We don't know who we nominate yet, but we have an idea about some. And we're going to tear the mask off and take off the costumes that them flaunting about in, pretending to be something else. And we're going to introduce you to the real people. Yeah. We're going to introduce you to Michael Phillips, for example. I don't know him. So we're going to introduce you to him. We're going to introduce all of them too. Whoever nominate. So they can see them and know them and understand them and know what them is about. Because everybody wants to be leader. That is what driving everybody's agenda. That's what driving the agenda in Region 3. So them bringing in Dayton Campbell to come talk a PNP conference in Region 3. Because everybody have them look agenda. But no want a unity. Everybody want individual conditional unity. Unity that suits them. They want the unity on their terms. Because of their ambitions. They want the unity. I am calling out on this live tonight. Calling on Region 3 Chairman Comrade Dennis Gordon, who's an excellent regional chairman. Really love Dennis Gordon. Can't vex with him, can't quarrel with him. Too nice. To pay attention and to ensure that there are no efforts by anyone outside of Region 3 to create any more angst in a Region 3 by bringing in Dayton Campbell in here to come lab off him mouth by any member of Region 3, regardless of how we feel about that member of Region 3. I call upon that. I'm calling on Region 3 Chairman again, Dennis Gordon, to take a new look at the Papi division and the candidate that will place up there. That's my prerogative, you know. I'm not a member of the party. I'm very liberated about that. And my prerogative. A full prerogative. I'm not going to win Papi. Not with that young lady. Young woman. So she's no lady. So Miss Peter Gay, I am damn well going to have the police come down to OLO to talk to you about those guys that you hired to intimidate me and to threaten my life. And when I put out them picture on Facebook tomorrow, I'm going to make sure everybody in our August town and Papi division pass it round so them can see it. And make them know say you hire them to come intimidate me and frighten me. And I'm not easily frightened or intimidated by you. You're the least among them. So comrades, I think that should be enough for tonight. There's just too many things to deal with. That should be enough for tonight. We'll come back the next day and deal with the St. Mary matter. We'll deal with St. Mary matter, we'll deal with the vice presidential nominations and some other things. Just want to also announce before I go that the resistance is taking on 6 divisions throughout the country. That we think that 4 in Region 3, that we think that if we win them, we have the council. So the resistance will be doing some analysis of those 4 divisions and see how best we can help boost them up to deliver a victory for the People's National Party. I'm not going to name the divisions yet because we still can't seem to settle on which 4. and 2 outside of Region 3 to see how we can help. Comrades, thank you for joining us. I hope you got some information. Not feeling myself too tough, but it was good. God bless you all. Good night. Stay safe. And please, for the love of God, keep the children safe. Thank you. Good night.